It's time for the Coach's Corner Show with your host, Pat Disabato.
Hello, welcome to the Coach's Corner Show, brought to you by Beggar's Pizza. I'm your host, Pat Disabato from the Daily Southtown newspaper, and we are at the Beggar's Pizza location in Richmond Park, right on Governor's Highway, about a block off of Sauk Trail, north of Sauk Trail. Folks, great show for you tonight. We have the man, John Konecki, Crete-Monee football coach, and what a job this guy has done, man. I mean, this is his sixth season. Obviously led him to a 6A state championship appearance in 2015. This year they're back in the 6A state championship, and they've done it in remarkable fashion. Saturday, come from behind victory over Richards, 38-35. They were down 12 points with 2:01 to go, and they came back and won this game at home. An unbelievable comeback victory. We're going to talk about that a little bit. And they play 1 o'clock Saturday, University of Illinois Memorial Stadium against Cary Grove, who is undefeated at 13-0. Crete-Monee, 10-3. They've won 10 straight. All right, folks, we're going to go to a Beggar's Pizza timeout. Remember, join the Big Cheese Loyalty Program. Plenty of perks. You get some Beggar's Bucks. And also, Tuesday night, 2-for-1 pasta, ravioli, lasagna, spaghetti, massacholi. It's all good here at Beggar's Pizza. All the locations. All right, we come back. Crete-Monee football coach John Konecki will be our guest. Stay tuned.
We came up with a bunch of clever commercial ideas to entice you into trying Beggar's Pizza. We decided to let the food speak for itself.
Hello, boys. I'm a drop-dead gorgeous pepperoni sausage, hold the vegetables deep dish pizza. Just look at my cheese. Your place or mine. Beggar's Pizza. We lay it on thick.
My experience was nice. It was easy, no pressure, easy sales. The first experience was so good that I kept coming back.
When I arrived to Apple Chevy, I was impressed. Just started with my dad, and then my dad recommended me like, hey, go to Apple Chevy, don't go to a different dealership, they help you out.
Having surgery or dealing with some type of nagging pain that limits your function? Then get to Athletics. We offer treatment for all types of orthopedic injuries, work-related injuries, and sports injuries. Therapists with over 20 years of experience provide treatment that is efficient and effective. Our 2,000 square foot clinics offer state-of-the-art equipment from HydroTrack, Blankenship, and Biodex. If your doctor suggests physical therapy, then you suggest Athletics, where every patient is treated like a champion.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner Show, brought to you by Beggar's Pizza. All right, our guest this week, the man, the myth, the legend, Crete-Monee football coach John Konecki. How's it going?
Very good, very good, very good. It's been a long couple of weeks, but a long and a magical run with some amazing kids and amazing coaches, and here we are. We're sitting at the opportunity to play for a 6A state championship.
Yep, and you played for one in 2015, and you played for one in 2012 and won, and hopefully have a repeat.
We're obviously plan, right? We're going to go there. We're going to play good, hard, fast, physical, aggressive football, and we'll let the outcome take care of itself.
All right. And speaking of that, and then when I say legend, when you come through with a legendary comeback victory like you did Saturday against Richards at home, 38-35. Now, you've been through some great games, man, in your career. Where does that rank?
Well, that's a great question. You have to look at our playoff run where we played Chatham and we won with time ending, and then obviously the Washington game the following week where we had to we went down 2 scores in the fourth quarter, and then with 2 minutes and 7 seconds left we were down 11 or 12 points, and we were able to they scored, they kicked us, we scored, kicked the onside, recovered the onside, and scored. I mean, outside of probably that Sacred Heart Griffin game, where they'd won those 39 consecutive games at that point in time, we're off of, I mean, this is by far one of the best victories that I've ever been part of, and it's really a testament to our kids and our coaches, and you know, the fact that they never lost sight of what was the goal at hand, and they never lost sight of the fact that we were still in the game.
Yep. Well, you're down 35-23, 2:01 left. Richard just gets done scoring. And, you know, your crowd, as you told me, some of your crowd's starting to leave, man. They think it's over, you know? But it wasn't over. What was your message to your guys at that point?
I think the message we've always said is that we play 48 minutes of football. And kind of our whole mantra is, you know, we're gonna play until there's no time left. And so that's how we practice, that's how we attack everything. And so our guys are very comfortable with being in those tight spots. And you know, we went 0-3 at the beginning of the season. We've had to play, you know, basically for us 10 consecutive weeks of playoff football. You go week 9, we had to go to Benton Harbor where we squeaked out a game 25-21 against a very good team, and then obviously we played Bloomington, and then we have the Glenwood game, the Washington game, and then obviously the Richards game. But our kids are really, really comfortable with being in uncomfortable positions and situations, and that starts at practice, and that starts with, you know, the level of scheduling that we put, you know, forth at our high school.
Yep. All right, so how often do you practice that onside kick that you guys recovered, and do you practice it in a situation, I mean, because Saturday was rainy, it was snowing, you know, your field's going, this is the 13th week of the season, so your field's probably a little messy at this point, so how often do you practice that play?
We practice that particular kick every single day from June all the way until this past Saturday.
How many times have you used it this season?
I believe 3 to 5 times, and we've, you know, recovered at a game, and I know Brother Rice, we just missed one in Benton Harbor, Michigan. Actually, we got it from Pulaski Academy. So several years ago, I spoke to the coach there. He sent me about 100 cut-ups. I went through it. I talked to him for a long time, and I said, we're going to do this, and you know, we have the personnel to do it, and we like our chances, and that is something that is done all the time in our place.
Yep. Well, you have natural grass. And what did you tell me last week?
I love grass.
I love grass, all right?
Absolutely.
So does that play work if you have turf, do you think? At that specific moment with the rain and the natural grass?
Yeah, no, I think it works on either.
It works.
Yeah. So obviously we practice on grass. So we kick you know, on a regular and consistent basis on that. But so going into the state championship, we'll be at a couple of offsite locations where we'll be working with turf. To be honest with you, the onside kicks work a lot better, in my opinion, on the turf,
right,
because there's more of a bounce. The part about the natural grass that you can't always take into account is the divots,
right,
and you know, the imperfections of it.
Yeah.
So we put forth our best effort, but I think that it actually works out a little bit better when it comes to turf because there's a little bit more bounciness and
right, okay,
yeah, springiness.
All right, so this has been a magical run because you guys have defeated the 6th seed. No, yeah, you did. 6th seed, 3 seed, 2 seed, 1 seed in succession in the playoffs. You've taken each one down. I mean, so you can't say, oh, you guys had an easy path. This is a fluke. You guys have done it coming from behind 3 times. So you know, some kids, you know, can't handle that type of pressure. They don't have the resiliency. What is it about this group, man, that these guys have been able to rise to the occasion each week?
I think it starts with, you know, the program. I mean, obviously, you know, I came to the program in 2007 with Coach Verdi, and you know, and Coach Verdi moved on and was able to take over. And the program for us is a living, breathing entity. And and in addition to that, I think I have a fantastic coaching staff, and my staff does a fantastic job of putting our kids in a situation to be successful. When it comes to our practices are highly structured. They're very stressful, because we would like our practice to be more stressful than the games. And that way, when we walk out on the field to play, we're able to execute in the manner that we've trained our players to. And this group of kids in particular, they love football. They love sports. They love competing, and they don't ever. There's no quitting them, and that's obviously a testament to who they are, and and the job that their moms and dads have done with them, and their kids have grown up in the neighborhood, and this is what they've lived for. When they were little kids, and you see that first group, and now we've have cousins, and we have brothers, and nephews that are coming through the program, and they want to continue on with it. And we talk about all the time about when you're in the program, during the time that you're there, you're a steward of the program. You're playing for the guys before you, and you're playing for the guys that are going to come after you, and then they really buy into that.
Yep, that's awesome, man. All right, so we're going to go to a Lisa Thomas Salon timeout. Remember, 3 locations, Mokina, Tinley, Orland. High school boys, $17 haircuts, $27 for high school girls to show your high school ID. We come back, more with John Konecki, Crete-Monee football coach. Stay tuned.
At Lisa Thomas Salon, we think loving yourself and your selfie starts with the perfect stylist. That's why we've assembled an amazing team, each with a unique passion for beauty, providing the perfect combination of innovation and experience. Then adding just a little bit of fun. For hair, skin, nails, and makeup, no one does beautiful like Lisa Thomas. Because life's too exciting to settle for the same old thing. Schedule today at Lisa Thomas Salon, a Redken Elite partner with 3 area locations.
Bob's Auto Body and Repair in Blue Island has been prospering since 1968 when Robert Warniak Sr. opened a business. Bob's goal? To go above and beyond to satisfy their customers. Whether it's a small ding or a major collision repair, Bob's is a trained technician and state-of-the-art equipment to meet the high standards their customers expect and that Bob's demands. Bob's also offers complete mechanical services for your automobile, from an oil change to brake repairs. Mention this ad, Bob's will detail your car for free with any auto body work or give you a free oil change with any mechanical work. Bob's Auto Body and Repair, Blue Island.
If you're suffering from physical pain, nothing else matters. The one thing that should is Midwest Orthopedic Consultants, because experience never mattered more. Serving the community for 25 years with over 90 years of combined orthopedic experience, our fellowship-trained surgeons provide individualized care to those suffering from orthopedic pain. We deliver comprehensive care from diagnostic to surgical to rehabilitative services, all under one roof in each of our locations. Midwest Orthopedic Consultants, bringing university-level orthopedic care close to home.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner Show, brought to you by Beggar's Pizza. If you're just joining us, our guest is Crete-Monee football coach John Konecki. We are at the Beggar's Pizza location in Richton Park on Governor's Highway, right off Sauk Trail. And folks, Tuesday night's a big night at Beggar's Pizza. All locations, 2-for-1 passes. So you got some spaghetti and meatballs here. You get a little lasagna, you get a little ravioli. Back it up with some cream and broccoli soup. 2-for-1, man.
That's good stuff.
That's
honestly,
good stuff
I'm a
right
pretty
there.
good eater, so I mean, I can get after this.
So enjoy it, man. Come by on a Tuesday. I know it's Thanksgiving tomorrow, so everyone have a happy Thanksgiving. What do you got going on, man? Just
Thanksgiving? Yeah. Well, let's before we even talk about Thanksgiving, I have to say thank you to my wife for allowing me to, supporting me to, in my endeavors. And obviously she's been fantastic, and I know that we're going to do a lot of things with our family. And so I have to say, thank you very much, Kathy, for, allowing me to, do this. And allowing is not it, but, putting up with the schedule. and it was at this time of year, it's crazy. And we really, as coaches, and that's all of my coaches, we have a big shout out to all of our wives for partnering with us.
Exactly.
In
You're
this
giving
whole
thanks
thing.
to your wife.
Absolutely. That's 100% it.
That's key. If you don't have,
I am thankful for my wife. Exactly.
You should be,
yes,
because
sir.
if you don't have a supportive wife, you cannot excel in this profession.
No, not at all.
You do not have a supportive wife. And I
Not
don't
at
care
all.
what sport, all the sports, but you have to have a very supportive wife, man. There's no doubt about it. All right, Johnny. Offense has been a juggernaut. You guys have rushed for, I think, 3,400, 3,500 yards, right around there.
3,436 yards.
Okay, so almost 3,500. You've been throwing the ball well. I know you go 2-3 different quarterbacks. My boy Ricky Johnson, he's got 1,000 yards receiving. What makes this offense such a juggernaut? I know what you're going to say. The offensive line; those are your guys, right?
Yeah, I think that that always starts up front. We have 5 guys: Jesus Ambriz, who's a left tackle; Dakota Fugate, who's playing left guard; Matt Simpson, who's a sophomore, is our center; Savion Henderson is a sophomore, who's playing right guard, and then Bobby Winton, who's playing right tackle. I think they've done such a fantastic job. So in that 3,436 yards, we don't have a single rusher over 1,000 yards.
Yep. Spreading the wealth.
Yeah. So there's multiple guys who touched the ball. I thought that they did such a fantastic job that this year at our conference meeting, we have the opportunity to put up an offensive or defensive player of the year. And in the past, we've had some fantastic players that have come through our program. I asked the coaches if they would allow me to put up my offensive line. And the other coaches in the Southland Athletic Conference were 100% on board. So my offensive line ends up being the Southland Athletic Conference Offensive Player of the Year.
That's why you think out of the box. They say you're crazy like a fox. That's how you are, man. So that's awesome that you did that. Not many coaches would even think about doing that. You, on the other hand, do.
Football's the ultimate team game, and I think it's, when you start talking about individual awards, and that's really when you talk about our team. It's a team, and it's different than a lot of sports because you can have one or two really great players, but football, everybody has to work in concert in order to make it happen. And that's with, I tell the kids all the time, I have my team, the coaching staff, and they have their team. And so we chart the course, and they have to put forth, they actually have to have, oars in the water. And so I think it's very fitting that, a group that never gets any praise and gets all of the grief, in this particular case, is allowed to, ended up being the Southland Athletic Conference Offensive Player of the Year.
Kudos, man. That is awesome. That is awesome, man. All right, so this quarterback situation, you've kind of gone with Trayvon Rudolph, Vontrell Banks. They've kind of split it up a little bit.
And Ronald Carroll.
We got to get that third guy in there, too, and he's had a great year beyond quarterback.
Correct.
So what's the benefit of this, except that Cary Grove has got to try and game plan for 3 different quarterbacks this Saturday?
Well, obviously, it just, each of the quarterbacks do something well. And when you put all 3 on the field, which all 3 will be on the field at the same time, now you have to account for 3 different guys who can throw the ball at any point in time. And there's multiple sets where, you look at the first play against Washington, Ronald Carroll, or Trayvon throws it backwards to Vontrell Banks, who's, about to hit, Kevon Jones, and if we just miss, we'd open up with a touchdown. Against Richards last week, Trayvon moved Trayvon to the slot, we ran fly sweep, handed off to Trayvon, and he goes and throws the ball in the middle field to Ricky Johnson, who Ronald Carroll's handing the ball off. Yep. And so when you put all those guys out there and you go all the way back to what Vince Lombardi was doing with guys like Frank Gifford, right? You go back to the old halfback pass. One guy's a righty, maybe he throws better on the run to the right, and now you can put them both in the backfield and you can run your zone read, and now like you run your zone read, now you have your RPO game off of it. So those guys can now not only have the ability to run the ball, they also pull the ball and throw the ball potentially downfield. Yeah. And it causes, from a defensive standpoint, it causes a lot of problems because you now have to account for all of it, and you have to play just like we'll have to play against Cary Grove, true assignment football.
Yep. Yeah, that's crazy like a fox, man.
I'm something, yeah. Yeah. I mean, obviously I've been working at it and honing my craft, and it's easy to do when you have great kids and you have great coaches.
Absolutely, man. All right, so you got a couple of great bookends on the defensive line. Dalen Brown, Dion Harry. Dion, I think he picked up his 4th offer this past weekend. And Dalen has 13 sacks. He's knocking on the door on the all-time record. How big has their impact been, those 2 guys?
Yeah, they set the edge. They set the edge, and the teams run away from Dion, which is what they wanted to do earlier on in the season. It allows for a lot more productivity from Dalen, and they're both long, so they're able to get great separation. They have great leverage. Both have super high football IQs. They're both good students in the classroom, and they care. They care about our team. They care about football, and they are able to be difference makers. I mean, 2 weeks ago, Dalen intercepts a screen pass. Last week, partially blocks a punt. The week before that, he blocks an extra point. And they cause you some matchup problems, and so you can't decide which way to go because both of them do an excellent job of welding the down blocks, and they do a great job of responding to the stimuli that the offense presents.
Yep. And I'll tell you, man, I interviewed both those guys. Great kids. Ricky Johnson, I talked to him on the phone the other day for a story this week. That kid was getting emotional on the phone. I mean, you got some great kids, man. Yeah. And that's very important. These guys are selfless dudes, and that's very, very important. All right, so Cary Grove, 1 o'clock Saturday, University of Illinois, Memorial Stadium. What's going to be the key for the Warriors to win this game and win their 2nd state championship in the past 6 years?
When it comes to any game, we focus on the process, and I think that the process, you focus on that, the outcome takes care of itself. Obviously, for us to be successful Saturday, we have to do our job. We have to play good assignment football, both offensively, defensively. We have to do our job in special teams. We can't turn the ball over, and we have to put pressure on. Coach Seberg and his staff do a fantastic job, and we have to put pressure on that Cary Grove, both offensively and defensively. Can't allow them to have long, sustained drives where where we're kept off the field. And at the end of the day, we just need to keep our composure. And our kids, we've been leading all the way up this. If you look at the layout of our schedule, you open up with Lincoln Way East, you play Brother Rice, you go to Morris, you go to Week 9, you go to Benton Harbor, Michigan, and then obviously we end up being an 11 seed, and there couldn't be any more difficult road to it. And we got through all of it, and we're healthy.
Yep.
And we're ready to go.
That's a big
We're 100% healthy. Everybody's ready to go. Our kids' legs are rested. When we will be ready to play football, and our guys have been chomping at the bit to be back at this place. And obviously, this is a group of kids that were freshmen when we were in 2015, and they saw it. And they were on the guys that brought the water, and they did all the things that you do as a freshman. And they
scout team a little bit,
scout team, and they talk about it, and they're like, hey, remember Rakovich lit us up? Yeah, I know I don't, but I'm sure you do. And when those guys saw it, and they saw what had to happen in order for us to be successful on that day, and those lessons that were gleaned from that day haven't been lost on them, and they know, and they're ready, and they're prepared, and they're ready to, and they're excited for the opportunity to play on that stage.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to check that game out. I'm really looking forward to it because I know you're going to have a game plan like no other, and your kids are, like you say, man, you got good kids, and they're hungry, and I think they have the right perspective on all this, man. So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, thank you very much for having me on. I appreciate it.
All right, John. Yeah. Thanks a lot, man. Good luck Saturday. Good luck to the Warriors, and you Warrior Nation, get out there and support your classmates and your teammates and all that. It's going to be a great, great experience. All right, folks, we're going to go to an athletics timeout. 2 locations, Oak Lawn and Orland Park. When we return, I'll dissect last week's games, announce players of the week. I already handed Trayvon. This guy's got your Labriola
I don't know what you're talking
Cafe
about.
gift card. He's got to hook it up. All right, I handed it off to Coach. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Athletic Sports and Orthopedic Physical Therapy is a 2,200 square foot facility that includes the latest in rehabilitation equipment, including the HydroTrack underwater treadmill. All therapists at Athletics are experienced and offer hands-on treatment for patients that require such therapy. Whether it's your feet, ankles, knees, hips, lower back, shoulders, elbows, wrists, neck or jaw, Athletics is here to help. We at Athletics understand you as a patient have the right to choose where you receive treatment. Ask your physician if Athletics, with locations in Oak Lawn and Orland Park, is right for you. Whether you're in the mood for a Chicago-style hot dog, Italian beef sandwich, Philly cheesesteak, or charbroiled cheeseburger, Joey's Red Hots has you covered. In the mood for something lighter, Joey's Salads promises to hit the spot. Looking to cool off on a hot day or after a workout? Joey's refreshing homemade Italian ice will satisfy. Come check out Joey's Red Hots at 17400 Wolf Road in Orland Park or at 115th Street and Western Avenue in the Beverly community, where they're open until 5 a.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. No matter which location you visit, Joey's Red Hots promises to provide exceptional tasting food at an affordable price.
We came up with a bunch of clever commercial ideas to entice you into trying Beggar's Pizza. We decided to let the food speak for itself.
I'm a half sausage for you and your husband and a half just cheese for the kids, who never seem to stop moving. Go ahead and take the night off, Mom. I got you covered. Beggar's Pizza. We lay it on thick.
Hi, welcome back to the Coach's Corner Show, brought to you by Beggar's Pizza. I'd like to thank Crete-Monee football coach John Konecki for being our guest, and good luck to the Warriors Saturday in their quest for a 6A state championship. All right, we're going to the results segment, sponsored by Athletic Sports and Orthopedic Physical Therapy. All right, Class 8A semifinal game I was at, Brother Rice 14, Marist 3. John Konecki's happy about that because he is a Brother Rice grad. Great game by Rice, man. John Bean had David O'Keefe on a 13-yard TD pass. He also hooked up with Anthony Arquilla on a 75-yard TD pass. Bean finished 12 of 22, 240 yards passing. Also had 61 yards rushing. Justin Jefferson, 3 sacks, only a junior. So the Crusaders play Loyola at 7 p.m. Saturday in Champaign. That's a rematch from Week 4. Brother Rice won that game 35-3, but this is an entirely different Loyola team. The other 8A game, the shocker of the season, folks. Loyola 24, Lincoln Way 16. For East, Jack Baltz 14 to 26, 150 yards. Matt Judd 6 catches, 76 yards. Devin Williams 24 carries, 86 yards and a TD. And Kenny Palmer had a 40-yard pick six for the Griffins, who finished 12-1, 4 turnovers. That was their undoing. In 7A, man, Mount Carmel lost a tough one in double overtime. St. Charles North 27-21. For Caravan Rad, Primovic 1-yard TD run. Kanana Odeluga with a 1-yard TD run for the Caravan, who return a nice nucleus for next year. They finish 11-2. In 6A, game we talked about, the Warriors 38, Richards 35. For Richards, Markel Porter hit Walter Riley on a 20-yard TD pass. Sebastian Castro, two TD passes, a TD run, and an interception. Great season by the Bulldogs. They finished 12-1. For Crete-Monee, Trayvon Rudolph hooked up with Ricky Johnson on a 51-yard TD pass. Rudolph finished with 227 yards passing, 96 yards rushing, and a TD. Also had an 86-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Tell me he doesn't deserve that Player of the Week. And like we mentioned, Warriors scored twice in the last 2:01 to win it. They play Cary Grove 1 p.m. Saturday in Champaign. And in 5A, great run by Hillcrest, man. They finished 12-1. They fall to Joliet Catholic 42-6. That score isn't indicative of how close that game was. Hillcrest knocked on the door on several occasions, just couldn't get it, couldn't find the end zone. For Hillcrest, Basil Weber to Montez Garrett, 30-yard TD pass. Marquise Irving had 13 carries, 117 yards, also had 60 yards receiving. Hillcrest, 5 interceptions, man. They got picked off. For JCA, Keenan Haley, 220 yards rushing, 5 TDs. Nick Inatoni, 16 carries, 106 yards. Hilltoppers shoot for their 14th state championship Saturday, 10 o'clock in Champaign. They play Montini. Labriola Bakery Cafe, Golden Baguette Player of the Week. We mentioned that already. Trayvon Rudolph, he did it all for the Warriors. The Lisa Thomas Salon Teen Club Player of the Week. Lincoln Way Central's Regan LeConte scored 15 points, including a 3-pointer with 3:30 remaining. That gave the Knights a 33-32 lead and eventual 40-32 win over Andrew. We're going to hook her up with a nice $25 gift card. Compliments of Lisa Thomas Salon. We're going to Labriola Bakery Cafe timeout. When we return, high and tight.
Looking for a unique dining experience with incredible food? Then check out Labriola Bakery Cafe. Opened by Rich Labriola, Chicago's premier artisan baker, you know they'll have great bread, but you won't believe the rest of their menu. Wood-fired Neapolitan pizzas, fresh pasta, and their world-famous Richie Burger. There's also homemade gelato and, of course, their famous bread. Labriola Bakery Cafe and Neapolitan Pizzeria, conveniently located in the Oak Brook Promenade.
At Lisa Thomas Salon, we think loving yourself and your selfie starts with the perfect stylist. That's why we've assembled an amazing team, each with a unique passion for beauty, providing the perfect combination of innovation and experience. Then adding just a little bit of fun. For hair, skin, nails, and makeup, no one does beautiful like Lisa Thomas, because life's too exciting to settle for the same old thing. Schedule today at Lisa Thomas Salon, a Redken Elite partner with 3 area locations.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Coach's Corner Show, brought to you by Beggar's Pizza. Remember, Tuesdays, 2-for-1 pastas at all Beggar's Pizza locations. Okay, high and tight, sponsored by Midwest Orthopedic Consultants. Man, that Rice-Marist game, 14-3, but the crowd, the atmosphere was unbelievable. At least 5,000 people at the game, probably more like 7,000, but we won't let the IHSA know about that. But cars parked all the way from Pulaski to Cicero on 115th Street. It was awesome. That's what you call school spirit. Okay, folks, get out to Champaign this weekend. Support your teams, your schools, your communities. Have a great week.